Okay, ladies and gentlemen, next we put through their paces. Please welcome Russia's Geckler and Vlad Martynov presenting YotaPhone. 2 screens are better than 1.
Hello, everybody. I'm Geckler from Yota, Russia. We're a small startup coming out of Russia. You probably all know the feeling of sitting at a restaurant, having a nice dinner with friends, or sitting at home, having a nice dinner. Or sitting in a meeting, which is important for you, or sitting in this room listening to me, and suddenly your phone is vibrating, and you're thinking, what can it be? Is it an SMS? Is it a calendar item? Is it my Facebook? Is it an email? You really want to touch it. You really want to take it out, to check it, to turn it on. The issue we have is that our phone is always black, so we actually need to take it up, and we need to check it. And we do this 150 times per day. If we're a super user, even more times. This is one of the insights we got when talking to our consumers about the future phone. Top of their list were battery issues. Number 2 was notifications and issue with staying updated. We basically have become addicted to our phone. I'm sure you will all agree with me. And we really want to be here with our friends, but at the same time we also want to be in cyberspace. The industry in general are focused a lot on bigger screens, better camera, what we would call a technology race. But we decided in Yota to take up the challenge and solve the battery and the notification issue. We spent it around 3 years developing this phone. Isn't it beautiful? I have it here today with me. And we spent a lot of time particularly developing the different user scenarios. It's an Android smartphone. The special thing about it is it has 2 screens. And by the way, it has Gorilla Glass on both sides, and it's slightly curved, as you can see. The front screen is what you know from your standard smartphone, is LCD display. But what we have done is we've integrated EPD technology, which you know from e-readers, or like the Kindle, for instance. And that basically enables us to use hardly no battery, because it only uses battery when it's changing the image. And it basically changes the way the consumer is interacting with their smartphone. Let me give you a few examples on user scenarios and what you can actually do with it. If I can change the slide.
People will do almost anything to stand out from the crowd. With the second screen on YotaPhone, you can express yourself better. For example, your phone can match your bag. Or you can camouflage it. And be witty and profound. Your wife won't let you grow a mustache? Grow it on the second screen. Your mom won't let you get a tattoo? Get it on the second screen. Add creativity to the simple act of taking a picture. You can also help motivate yourself to achieve your personal goals.
So adding an e-reader to your smartphone, of course, gives you the opportunity to read on the phone. You have around 40 hours of battery time to read a book on one charge. At the same time, you obviously can read in sunlight. But actually combining the EPD display with a normal LCD display, we're also changing the way you are reading. First of all, let's imagine we're reading a book on the EPD display, and we see a quote which we like to share with friends. One touch, and it will take you to the front display, to your Facebook or Twitter, or wherever you're sharing these things, and you can share a quote. Or maybe there's a word you don't understand, and there's one click, it'll take you directly to the dictionary. So it changes your reading experience. Notification. I talked about the consumer's need to be always on, and the request to us to create a phone where they can be always on. You can basically push automatically anything to your rear display. If you're a Twitter or Facebook fan, you can have it constantly online and have it lying on your cafe or a desk and basically have your information streamed to you. You can also set it up that SMS from your wife is more important than anything else and should stay on the screen until you touch it. Or you can basically push your calendar items or whatever else would be important. But enough talking from my side. Actually, Vlad, my boss, is here somewhere. He just came from our factory with fresh prototypes, which we'd like to show you. This is actually the first time we show the white phone in real life. It came out of the factory yesterday. and he's been traveling all the way from Asia. So let's welcome Vlad to the stage.
Thank you, Lau. I think you can carry with. I have mine. So yeah, this is the first white YotaPhone, and let me just show how it works. If you don't mind, I'll get a little closer to respect the judges, sorry. And basically to show a few scenarios. The first, the phone, anything, any image can be placed on the backside of the phone and stay there as long as you need, even if you're running out of battery. So why do you need it? For example, you use the Google Maps to find location from one place to another place. In the city you've never been. Suddenly you see 1% left. You just make one gesture like this, and you place your map on the backside, and then you have a kind of paper map. You're running out of battery, the battery is 0, but you still have a map, you find the location. Second one, you are going to the airport, you have your boarding pass on LCD display. Suddenly you're out of battery, you lost your boarding pass. You expect to go probably 15 minutes for the security. Now you need to go all the way. It might be a cost for the delay of the plane. So what you do just like one gesture like this, and you place the image. Just 1 second. Yeah, that's just been in the factory in China just a couple days ago. Yeah, here we go. So now it stays there as long as you need. When the phone is completely off, you still can use this barcode for scanning and go for the security. So that can be anything. It can be tickets, coupons, boarding pass, maps, etc., etc. So what else? Actually, we want to make any experience consumer have with the smartphone close to reality. So we have quite a lot of user cases, but one of them I want to show you, it's education. When we thought about how people learn language and words in the past using paper cards, right? So we thought, what if we introduced a similar concept for education on the phone? So you pick up the subject, technology, social, anything. You place this application on the backside. Now you have cards. For example, this is English, Spanish cards. If you know how this word in Spanish, you just say it, then you swipe, and you have it in Spanish. Then there is, if you say it correct, you swipe it again, and probably will not repeat it. But if it's incorrect, you swipe it backwards, it will repeat again and again until you learned it. So this is another scenario. What else? Well, basically, if I'm not mistaken, we're supposed to talk about how you can express yourself and manifest your goals to your friends and broad world, right? Right. And there are a few things you can do. First of all, you can improve your discipline, how you keep up with your New Year resolution. For example, you say, I want to quit smoking. You make one click setup. Let me do it. You press it on the back. Now you have your countdown, how many days you keep up without smoking. Or, for example, I'm awaiting a very exciting event in a few days, and I want to know how many days before this event. And it can be anything. We put several, like football championship, like New Year, for example, marriage anniversary or certain things, which from one side help you to remind me, not forget, but from another side you can say how many days you keep up with your goals. And you share this with friends, families, and loved ones. Another thing which is really was the first idea about expressing yourself was I look how current phones keep images. For example, I have a picture of my daughter and wife in my current phone. It's pop up for a few seconds only when I wake up the phone. But naturally, I want to have this image constantly in front of me, reminding about certain moments, emotional moments from the past or coming experience from the future. So with the second screen, because it doesn't consume power, it can stay there as long as you need. This becomes possible. Last but not least, probably my favorite one is emotional communications. And I think today, SMS messaging and all kind of messaging experience extremely boring. For example, you send message, I love you, and you've got just text message, I love you, which disappeared in a few seconds. So this is not the way that humans should communicate it. At least we believe so. So we introduced the software which convert a certain keywords into images. So if I send a message, and let me make a small love story here. Let's say I meet the girl and I send the message, I kiss you. Here, I kiss you, right? I send this message to her phone and she get something like this. Then she responds back to me, for example, I love you. Oops, I love you. And I'm getting back something like big heart. And then, logically, if I type it right, so we don't have any surprises, then I send, I'm pregnant. And I've got this kind of message. So from our perspective, that's fundamentally changed how we communicate with our devices. It becomes more human touch, it becomes more emotional, and becomes much better. So let me come back on stage, and we'll make our closure.
We actually have finished in terms of timing.
We finish in terms of time. Can I have
So
5 just
word.
seconds?
5 seconds.
5 seconds. Basically, the main idea and our aspiration, how to make these devices, which is constantly off, which is from our perspective as a dead devices, and we communicate through these devices today not the way we should be. More human, more emotional, much more fun, and it's not only changed the way consumers interact with devices and with each other, but it's also created a platform for carriers, mobile carriers, for advertising company, promotion company, to improve their connections with audience and their consumers, to make completely new way how they communicate and how they maintain relationship with their consumers, because advertising could be also put in an emotional way, not the current way how we use in the text messaging. Thank you very much, and we'll be happy to answer all of your questions.
Congratulations, and everyone on the jury does want to touch that, by the way. Hope, if you don't mind.
The phone, Vlad.
Yeah,
No problem. Here we go.
we will give it back. So where are you, if you've just come from factories in Asia, where are you on this being?
We actually are ready to ship the products and make it in retail available in October, November this year. So it will be, we start sales and product launch end of October, beginning of November this year. And we have 2 prototypes run. This is the first prototype, so it's still a little buggy. But in August we have second prototype, and by October we have the final product. We actually use the best of the best components. We use Qualcomm as a chipset. We use Japan displays, the best display. We use high qualified engineers in Singapore who help us with manufacturing this device. But the software ideas, what the user cases should be, it's all ours.
Fantastic, fantastic.
Just curious, obviously you're competing in an incredibly tough market. When was the decision made to release your own product as opposed to licensing this idea or this technology to like HTC or Samsung or?
Yeah. Basically, we have some experience with doing partnerships with both on the LTE, so 4G space, but also in mobile space. And what we have learned is that we will not get the product that the consumer actually wants. We wanted to be true to the consumers and give them what we have promised. And this was the core of our idea.
And so how does your phone compare with all the other stats? I won't ask each of them individually, but you know, like the battery life and the camera, is it comparable to
the technical
latest,
specification is a kind of
up?
premium to any Android device. In addition, we have electronic paper display, which provide a completely new set of scenarios. So basically, we have the latest Qualcomm chipset. We have a 12 megapixel camera. We have like Gorilla Glass on both sides. Basically, this is the premium type of specification for this device. But what is important, we came up with an idea 3 years ago, and the reasons why we decided to go into this market, because we clearly understood for the last 7 years, since the first iPhone launched the concept of the smartphone, there is not really innovation happened in the user experience. There was a pretty much technical specs race where people try to improve resolution of LCD display and doing bigger size of display, but not really care about user experience. Even this battery thing, people trying to solve this problem, trying to come up with new technology for battery, but There is available technology, electronic paper display, which been here for 5 years. We just took this technology, bundled together with the phone, and we bring completely new type of experience. And I think this is where I realize big brands is not really up to this job. It's much more convenient for them to put a lot of money promoting different size of display, different resolution, rather than to bring new experience. We decided there is a time for us and there is a place for us on this market. There is a chance for small company which is innovative from user experience to win the certain market niche. Yeah, there is another thing you probably, it's very difficult to navigate because we introduced 2 gestures how to navigate the phone. Swipe from right to left, it's back. And it's all about swipe because we believe the whole navigation should be intuitive. So we get rid of buttons. Actually, next generation will be less buttons, less holes. We believe the full touch smartphone with intuitive interface, it's the future. So that's why there is no standard Google buttons. You can't find it.
Okay, yeah, I really like the concept. In fact,
Thank you. Thank you.
The second screen, 2 screens is better than 1 screen. But don't you think that the second screen is like similar to a window in the front of the screen?
Sorry, I'm not sure.
The second screen has for you the same meaning of a window when you split the main screen into 2 windows.
Exactly. That's the. If I understand your question right,
Under the
the
perspective
second
of
screen
the
do not
consumer.
duplicate all user cases and scenarios on the main display. They are not duplicate each other. This is not for multitasking. However, you can do multitasking, but this create completely new scenarios. Everything you can do, like video streaming, picture, anything you can do on the main display, it's still there. We are creating new type of experience. We are not copying what has been there to the back, except maybe reading. Because the reading was quite painful. I couldn't read more than 2 hours, 3 hours on a regular phone. So I realized that if I want to read and scan mails or Twitter or Facebook, if it's a low power consumption display, so I can stay with 1 charge for the whole day, that's probably the only experience we duplicate with the main display. All the rest is all new. And by the way, even reading experience, I can see we add this flip over experience where you can't have it. Like, you read the book, you like the quote, you just make 1 flip over, 1 click, and you post this quote on a Facebook and say, I like this quote from this book. It's just 1 click. You share with your friends what you are reading the book, you like this quote. Or if you're reading a foreign language book and you don't know the word, you just flip over all words from this page, translated to your language. So you can't find it anywhere in e-reading right now, but you can do it with our phone.
I live in Tokyo. And we have already a double screen, cell phone, like this. But this kind of, how do you say, electric paper?
Yes, electronic
It's
paper.
very new thing. So I like to make sure that this idea is not double screen, but the combination with normal LCD screen and electric paper.
That's exactly right. That's exactly, because it's completely different device. Because all dual screen phones before, they have LCD technology. And the purpose was to extend either the space of the display or do multitasking. With electronic paper display, it's a completely different thing. Yeah.
I understand. Yeah, thank you.
Hi, we just had a question. Is the data rate, the data consumption lower on the second screen? So if I'm looking at things, will my data consumption be lower?
Absolutely. If you use for reading, for scrolling emails, for looking at the Facebook, Twitter page, it will be substantially lower because it's consumed power only when it's refreshed the page. So if you read the page while you're reading the page, it doesn't consume any power.
Actually, if you look at your smartphone today and you go into the settings, you realize that around 60% of your battery is spent on the LCD display. So what we're trying to do is to move as much as possible to the EPD display to bring down the consumption of power.
Yeah, but even above power, I'm just thinking of actual data usage. Are you burning
data usage?
Yeah.
It depends. If you read the book, no. But if you, for example, put your stock exchange on the backside or Facebook and it constantly update, of course, well.
I think the other sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think the other important scenario is that today we actually wake up our phone 150 times. If you think about how many of these times you actually needed to do it, it's probably only 20. On this phone, you get all the important stuff, so you don't have to check. It's there when it's there. If you have a meeting, it's not about finding the today I need in my iPhone to find a specific notification to know if I have a meeting. and then it's too late. On this phone, it actually is there when I need it, and that I think that's the big difference. If you meant, did you say daily consumption or data consumption?
Data.
Data consumption.
Yeah, this was
The data consumption will be similar because you're still receiving the emails and Facebook, etc., in the same format.
The only difference is goes in batches right now. When you wake up the phone, you suddenly download all latest information at once. Then it will be pop up immediately. If you've got a new tweet, it's pop up immediately on the top. It's consume a little bit data, but constantly. But for a week, it will be the same.
Is it an open API so developers can use the back screen?
Exactly. We open SDK to let developers to develop all kind of application. By the way, they are much more creative than us when they see this because even like within an hour or two, you talk to developers, they immediately find new ways how to improve user experience.
And actually, half of the cases we have shown today are coming from after we communicate this phone the first time, so from consumers and from the development community, and we believe in this.
You need to press harder. You need to go from the top, from all the top harder to the down, yeah. And then it's there. And we are fine-tuning, by the way, this phone I took from the factory yesterday before I fly, so we need to calibrate the touch panel. Touch panel is not reliable. It's usually take 2 days, but I decided to still bring to show to you because we are very excited about the white one and this product.
So what was the retail price?
It will be about the same price as any Android premium device from the flagship models like Sony Xperia or Samsung S4 or HTC One, maybe a little less because because we are new guys in the market and we don't have brand and all kind of things. And for first generation, for us to earn money is not the key point. For us, the key point to get critical mass of consumer who understand this experience. And then with the second generation, which is already in a full speed of development of this phone, it will be thinner, less buttons, less holes, etc. But it will be maybe 10-15% less than HTC One, Samsung S4, or something like this. But in addition, you have EPD display in the whole experience. Yeah.
Last question.
I don't think you said this, but do you have a patent? Is it protected? The combination of LCD and EPS, only you guys can do that?
We spent quite a lot of money and efforts for the last 3 years to file as many patents, or not only patents, but
copyright,
design copyright design for user cases and scenarios. Yeah, because unfortunately, in this world today, you are nobody if you don't have patents. Yeah. Sometimes it helps, sometimes it's really ruining innovation.
It's probably been the biggest challenge actually.
Yeah.
To overcome that hurdle.
Well, thank you very, very much. We wish you the best, and that was great. Really good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We'll get there.
Let's get the phone. Yeah.